Okay, before we go into the sanctuary, Dave Wagner is going to talk with us a little bit. So it is our delight to have Dr. David Wagner with us. He is, as I think many of you know, the program director and host of Detroit's classical and jazz station, WCRJ, it's FM. I'm sorry, WRCJ. I'm not reading right. Also, he's professor of music at Madonna University in Livonia. I don't know why this is doing that. I'm not going to read everything, but he does hold a Doctor of Musical Arts degree from the University of Michigan. He has been a solo performer and also organist and harpsichordist with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. He has a compact disc recording, Bright and Clear, which was named Best Classical Recording of a Solo Artist in 1998 at the 1998 Motor City Music Awards. And he is the co-editor and author of the book, The Omnibus Guide to Classical CDs, published by G. Schimmer and Company. There are many other things I could say about him, but I think you would rather hear from him to learn a little bit more about what has happened to our organ during these last many months. So please welcome Dr. David Wagner.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me come down and break the pipe organ. I really appreciate that. I want to just tell you a little bit about the instrument. Pipe organs, and especially this organ, this is really a one-of-a-kind instrument. And we as organists have great fun playing our instrument because every one is different. There is not another instrument exactly like this one on the planet. So 100 years, this instrument has given great service to this congregation. And over the years, of course, it's needed refurbishment. So after about almost 100 years of really dedicated service, a number of things had to be redone. First of all, the roof was leaking for a while, and pipe organs don't like water inside of them at all because there are little valves that are made out of leather. So there were quite a few problems with that. In fact, you heard one of the problems that occurred this morning. There's a big set of trumpet pipes against the wall that originally had been another place inside the organ, and sometimes when pipes are placed against a cold wall or a warm wall and the building heats up, one of the little valves stuck open. And they always seem to stick open on the loudest pipes, you know, that's one of the great things. So that's what happened this morning. But the organ is pretty well complete. It's a huge job to redo the organ electrically. Now, when this organ was built, think of that, 100 years ago, this was still a residential area. There was no Detroit News building across the street. Detroit was just beginning to really expand almost overnight. The city exploded in size. At that time, electrical systems, consistent power that we just take for granted now, power fluctuated somewhat. So there were a number of valves inside the organ that were so constructed. The organ really runs on about 12 volts of power. We could actually hook up a car battery to it and make all of the little valves inside the organ play. In fact, initially when they built electric action organs, they used dry cell batteries because you couldn't count on the steady flow of electricity. So this organ, first of all, had a generator that turned AC into direct current, and then later on what they called a rectifier. Now, of course, that's all done now because, and I hope you have a chance to go and see it, the console controls were worn out, and so Dave Waketon, an organ builder from Dryden, Michigan, actually got a set of draw knobs and a console from England, from Harrison & Harrison, and then rebuilt it on the inside, which is really, honestly, far superior to a very fine console that Moeller built in 1953. I first heard this organ 56 years ago, and I was 9 years old, and my mother brought me down to hear E. Power Biggs play the organ. And I sat across the side, and he signed my program, and I can't find it to this day. I wish I did. And I heard Virgil Fox, and this was a place where people came and heard these great organ performers play on this wonderful instrument. So what a thrill it is for me. Years later, who knows the paths that life would take you. I never thought I'd come back in Detroit. I thought I'd either spend my time in Cincinnati or in Southern California. And here I am back again, and what an honor it is, really, to play this instrument. So I hope you can come in and listen. I'm going to play some transcriptions for you. Well, first, a piece by William Matthias, a Welsh composer. Then I'm going to play the Peregrine Suite. And if you know Saturday morning cartoons, Morning Mood and A Sigh's Death and Anitra's Dance and The Hall of the Mountain King, I'm going to play that. Organs played transcriptions, and this organ plays it very well, because it was not only thought to be a church organ, which it is, but it was an instrument that played orchestral transcriptions, and it is meant to do that, and it does it really well. It's really nice to hear this symphonic organ. And then I'm going to finish with a piece called Thou Art the Rock, Tu es Petra, Thou Art. It's from the Old Testament, where Jesus charges Peter and the disciples to carry forth the word, you are rock, and on this rock I'll build my church. So about a half an hour worth of music. I promise not to break anything. Thank you for being great stewards of this wonderful, wonderful musical instrument. And it's something to cherish, just as this church is to cherish, of generations past that have given of their gifts to make an astoundingly beautiful place with a beautiful, beautiful instrument that really should be cherished by you. And after we're all gone, I have no doubt that in 100 years someone else will be standing here and talking about the musical instrument, and it will live on past us. It's a great, great work of art. So thank you for your stewardship, and I hope this instrument gives you many more years of enjoyment and blessings for your congregation.